I'm Brad Daniels, band director at Johnson Central High School. Our activities this year at Johnson Central are many and varied. We will try to capture as many highlights of the 1977-78 school year on this audio yearbook as possible. To the senior class, we would like to extend our congratulations. You have worked hard and long, and after you have departed from Johnson Central, we hope that this keepsake audio yearbook will remain a part of your life and bring pleasant memories for the rest of your life. We here at Johnson Central High are very proud of our school and of the image we project. We are equally proud of our dedicated principal, Mr. Paul Setzer, who helps us enhance that image.
Mr. Setzer, summarize some of your past accomplishments.
When I came to the Johnson County school system, I came as a teacher and coach. I thought this is the field I wanted to go into. But after consolidation and serving as principal of one of the grade schools on an emergency basis, I decided I wanted to become a principal. I went back to school and then returned to the Johnson County school system and took over the new Porter Elementary School, staying there for 3 years and then coming to Johnson Central High School. And this probably has been the most fulfilling and rewarding experience I've had in the teaching field at this point. I really enjoy working with high school students, and I feel like we're really starting to accomplish the goals that we need to accomplish.
What do you plan to achieve in the future?
In the future, I hope to make Johnson Central High School the finest high school in the state of Kentucky. We feel at this point we are well on our way. We have tremendous academic progress in the making at this time. We have a lot of extracurricular activity going on, and we have sports type programs that are really taking shape and becoming the tops in the area.
High Grade Mining Company of Paintsville, Kentucky reminds you that with today's technology, coal is a bountiful answer to the nation's energy and environmental needs. Coal is Kentucky's ace in the hole. The High Grade Mining Company of Paintsville, Kentucky would like to send their most sincere congratulations to the class of '78 at Johnson Central High School.
I would like to offer my congratulations to the 1978 graduating class of Johnson Central High School from Pontiac Buick and my employees. We wish them a very merry future.
One of the highlights of a school year is the election of class officers. This year, the elections were held on September 8, 1977.
The 1977-78 class officers are President Sandy Smith, Vice President Billy Johnson, Secretary Sandy Stapleton, and Treasurer Greg McDonald. The sophomore class officers are President Tammy McDonald, Vice President Sandy Wiley, Treasurer Beverly Huff, and Reporter Cindy Adams. The junior class officers are President Sheila Ratliff, Vice President Rick Pelfrey, Secretary Kathy Wells, and Treasurer David Capps. The senior class officers are President Tim Lavender, Vice President Charles Wells, Treasurer Ethel Conley, and Secretary Carolyn Conley.
Our football season began on August 26, 1977, under the capable leadership of Coach Ed Teeny Van Hoos.
The 1977 football season consisted of 11 games. The overall record was 9-2. The scores were as follows. The Eagles stomped Harlan County 42-8. At Breathitt County, we won by a margin of 32-6. Also, an unexpected victory over Prestonsburg, 36-14. Our first defeat of the season was with Pikeville, 0-26. But we got back on the winning side by beating Lewis County, 41-22. Our across the creek rivals, the Paintsville Tigers, scored higher than we did 8 points, with the final score being 6-14. But the Eagle Spirit came through again by beating Mullins 54-0, and again by a win over Louisa 30-6. Also with an easy win over Round County 34-0. 44-22 was the final score when we won over Fairview. Then Central traveled to Lenore, West Virginia and won the game with 40-16 being the final score. 2 players, Tim Gillespie and Jerry Butcher, was named for the All-State team for their excellent performance during the season. Congratulations to the 1977 football team.
I'm now speaking with Coach Ed Van Hoos, the coach of the Johnson Central football team. Mr. Van Hoos, who were the senior players of the 1977-1978 football year?
We had 13 seniors this year, and they will be greatly missed for the oncoming 78 season. The seniors that played for us this year were Jerry Butcher, Kim Gillespie, David Sloan, and Chris Ward. These four gentlemen started on the offensive and defensive line for us. We had Scott Murray and Ricky Darrell Campbell in our offensive backfield. Our wideout was Randy Adams. Then some reserves who played a lot for us were Jim O'Brien, Clarence Sloan, James Morgan, James Meeks, Kevin Hall. Then we lost a defensive starter for us, Frankie Griffith, who played linebacker for us. So those were our 13 seniors.
Who were the assistant coaches this year?
Well, I was very ably assisted, and I don't really refer to coaches as assistants, but we all coach together and we all have a responsibility. And the coaching staff this year was comprised of Charles Chuck Williams, Mike Baldwin, Tom Workman, and myself.
Could you give me one word to sum up the game between Johnson Central and Prestonburg?
If I had one word to choose, it would probably be explosive or maybe outstanding. And to clarify those two statements would be the fact that we opened the game with a scoring opportunity where we scored on the opening kickoff, and Prestonburg kicked to Scott Murray, and he ran the touchdown back for 87 yards. And then the first possession, Prestonburg had the ball that they fumbled, and Gary Fairchild picked it up and scored. So we had 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. So you could say it was an outstanding effort and an explosive effort by the Eagles.
That's his line, gets the snap, pitches to Murray. They're trying the left side. Good blocking in front of Scott. He's around the corner at the 30, the 25. He's got a foot race, and it's going to be a touchdown. Once Scott got that corner turned, he had great blocking in front of him, and it was just a race to the end zone. A 37-yard touchdown run for Scott Murray. Gary Fairchild came up hobbling after he threw his block. It was a good block along with Rick Campbell in front of him. Fairchild appears all right as he comes to the near sideline. Johnson Central 6 points on the board. It comes with 7:31 to go in the first half. Central lining up for the 2-point conversion. Campoy with it, fakes into the line, pitches back to Johnson. Johnson trying to turn the corner, and a shoestring tackle by Tim Bellamy brings it in to the conversion, and it's short of the end zone. The clock stops. 7:31 left to go in the first half. The score, Johnson Central 6, Fairview nothing. Straight ahead he goes, and he's in for the touchdown, standing up. Fairchild with that tremendous blocking in front of him. Gillespie and Butcher, as well as Rocky Mullins on that strong side, the right side. 6 more points for Fairchild. That is his 13th touchdown of the season, and makes it 12-0, Johnson Central. The Golden Eagles will go for the 2-point conversion. Campoy with the wishbone behind him, takes it into the line, pitches out to Fairchild. He's trying to turn the corner and cannot make it. Cannot make the 2-point conversion. He's stopped just about in the same place that the other conversion attempt was stopped. The clock is stopped on the field. 2:43 left to go in the first half. The score now, Johnson Central 12, Fairview nothing.
Decorating Den, located on 2nd Street in Paintsville, wishes to extend best wishes and congratulations to the graduating class of 1978 at Johnson Central.
Dave Estep and everyone at Dave's Auto Sales says, congratulations, seniors.
One of the more joyous games of the year was on October 21st, 1977. This year, our homecoming honors were bestowed upon Miss Tammy Jo Bays. Serving Miss Bays were her attendants, Lisa Vaughn and Charlotte Priest.
One of the more joyous games of the year was on October 21st, 1977, when the Golden Eagles defeated Round County in their annual homecoming game. Presented at halftime were the nominees, runners-up, and homecoming queen. The student representatives were as follows: freshmen Debbie Rice and Penny Davis, sophomores Cameron McDonald, Charlotte Priest, juniors Rose Sowards and Nanny Cavens, and seniors were Lisa Vaughn and Tammy Jo Bays. Second runner-up was senior Lisa Vaughn. First runner-up was Charlotte Priest, and the honor of the homecoming queen was bestowed upon Miss Tammy Jo Bays. Tammy Jo, how did you feel when you were announced homecoming queen of 1977?
I was shocked. I really had no reaction and just stood there for a couple of moments.
Well, how did you feel the next day when you woke up the new 1977 homecoming queen for Johnson Central High School?
I was still in shock, but it thrilled me to think that I had been elected.
The Johnson Central Concert Band will now play for you a selection from the Barbra Streisand album entitled Evergreen.
Everyone at Johnson's Farm Bureau sends their best regards to the class of '78.
Roger Tackett at Tackett's Tire Service wishes the very best to the class of 1978 at Johnson Central High School.
For the next few minutes, let's listen to some of the sights and sounds heard in and around Johnson Central High School, helping to make this a memorable year.
I'm now talking to one of their senior varsity cheerleaders at Johnson Central High School, Lisa Vaughn. Would you share an emotional or exciting moment you have experienced as a cheerleader?
I guess the most emotional experience in football is the apple ball. We have a ball. We have, we really get the team around. It's terrific.
How long have you been a cheerleader, Lisa?
4 years.
Do you have a cheerleading camp? And if so, what do you do?
We've been to Moorhead the last 2 years, and we do many things. We go through pom-pom routines, sidelines, chants, choreos.
What's that again? How do you feel the student body depends upon a cheerleader?
I guess they look to us, leading crowd, but mostly we depend on their support. We need all we can.
Does the enthusiasm of a crowd affect the performances of a cheerleader?
Greatly. If you have somebody there, it's much easier than if you don't.
Would you name the varsity cheerleaders?
Carla Daniel, Nita Sturgill, Karen Casebolt, Tracy Province, Connie Prater, Cheryl Ratliff, and myself.
How do you get a student body psyched up for a football game?
We make signs and posters and plaster them all over the walls. We have pep rallies. For football, we go outside in the stadium. We do different things. We throw footballs. We have a band that comes out in school song, stuff like that.
Do the parents of athletes receive recognition of any kind?
We have a special night. It's called Parents' Night. The parents go out on the field. They're escorted by their athletes, I guess the football players or the cheerleaders. And the women, the ladies, have flowers.
Thank you, Lisa. I would also like to mention that Pam Meek and Sandy Blanton were also cheerleaders during their football season.
Commander Langdon of NJROTC. Commander, exactly what do the letters NJROT stand for?
NJROTC stands for Naval Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. It's a youth program, a Navy youth program.
How many members do you have in this group?
We started the school year with 145, and we now have about 125.
Have you had any inspections this year?
Yes, every year we're subjected to an annual inspection conducted by an officer who is on active duty in the Navy, who comes from Norfolk, Virginia, and who inspects units like this from 4 states in his region.
You do?
Well, he looks over the units and compares them with 28 similar units, and we're very pleased that here at Johnson Central he classified us and graded us as a model unit, one by which others ought to take example.
We're now talking to the student coordinator of the JCHS Players, Charlie Wells. Charlie, how long has the JCHS Players been organized and how has it grown?
Well, we've been organized almost 2 years now, and we've grown from a budget from under $10 to almost $675 now.
How many members do you have in the Players this year?
Well, we have 30 members, including myself, our 2 sponsors, and my assistant director, Jenny Turner.
Name some of the productions you've done in the past.
Well, last year, as you know, we did our production of Too Many Relatives, which was a really good success, I thought. And this year we've done Silence No Secrets No for the Teacher's Christmas Banquet.
Do you plan to do more in the future?
Yeah, right now we're under production of our annual yearly production, which will be Off the Tracks by Felicia Metcalfe.
What's involved in putting on a production?
Well, first of all, you have your regular rehearsals where you work on acting and blocking and things like that. And then you do your technical work, such as lighting and sound and makeup.
How do you feel our drama department has benefited Johnson Central?
Well, I believe it's brought a little bit more culture into the school.
I'm talking with Eunice Blanton, the president of SFA. Eunice, how does a girl get nominated for Chapter Sweetheart?
Well, we have 4 classes of ag. We have a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. We have 2 classes of each, and each class elects 2 girls, and then they go on, and they put those on a ballot. And the 4 girls, then they have both classes to elect 1 out of the 4, and this is done on through all the classes.
Get your name in, please.
Lisa Vaughn is the senior. Gina Kelsey is the junior. Tammy McDonald, who is our FFA queen, is the sophomore, and Penny Davis is the freshman.
What does FFA stand for, and what is their purpose?
FFA stands for Future Farmers of America. The purpose of this is to improve the farmers' crops and to help them breed for better market animals. Back in 1917, Congress enacted a bill which enabled them to give support and funds for this cause.
Could you explain the Moorhead Farm and Field Day?
That's where some of the people here from the Johnson Central FFA chapter goes on to Moorhead to compete in several different contests. Some of them are such as livestock judging, beef showmanship, seed identification, soil judging, and so on.
Have you received any rewards?
Yes, our chapter received first place in the region on the welding contest, and we will go on up in the summer to compete in on the state level.
Did you attend a state convention, and if so, what achievements were accomplished?
Yes, I attended the state convention. I served as a delegate. And our secretary's book, our scrapbook, and our treasurer's book all won first place. The scrapbook and secretary's book went on to the national level to be judged, and we received a gold emblem there, which is the highest among the United States.
We understand the FFA club went to Kansas. What happened?
The year we went to Kansas City, we won the state livestock judging contest here in the state of Kentucky, and we went on to compete under the national level, which the team didn't do too well, but I received a Gold Emblem for beef showmanship, which is the highest in the United States.
Would you care to name your officers?
We have Cecil Murray is the vice president, Robert Blanton is the secretary, Rick Stanford is sentinel, Keith Cantrell is reporter, I'm the president, Phyllis Blanton.
Soon after Thanksgiving, the spirit of Christmas fills the air here at Johnson Central High School.
The Christmas story began in Bethlehem after Mary had been given an experience no other will ever share. The angel explained to her, "Hail, thou that art highly favored. Behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest." Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger.
Christmas was a busy time for the Johnson Central Concert Band of the 77th school year, especially in the month of December. Altogether, the band had 6 performances that month, which included 2 performances in front of the student body, one on December 9th with the Jazz Ensemble and Sing Eagles performing, and one on December 22nd with the Concert Band and Sing Eagles performing. They also did other numerous concerts for grade schools, public, and church groups. Another exciting event during Christmas was the annual band party, which was held on December 16th.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
Mid-60s, the public pressure was high in the idea of consolidation. In the fall of 1966, the county's 4 high schools, Van Lear, Platte Gap, Oil Springs, and Meade, consolidated into Johnson County High School, and their mascot was the Colonels. The mascot was decided by a committee which consisted of a group from the high schools. This committee decided upon red, white, and blue as the school colors, but was later changed to Johnson Central and black and gold as the school colors. In the fall of 1966, the bond issue was passed for $2.25 million. The first school year began in September of 1968, and the first class graduated in June of 1969. Some of the first year's activities included band, basketball, baseball, and cross country. Football wasn't added until 4 years later.
November 23, 1977, marked the opening for the Johnson Central High School basketball season. Our basketball team this year was guided by our capable coach, Mr. Wendell Wallen.
The Johnson Central Golden Eagles started their great year off with hard work when they attended basketball camp at Campton for 5 days in the summer. Throughout their season, they were faced with 4 tournaments, the first of which was the Jenny Wally tournament in Prestonburg, where the Eagles brought home the 3rd place trophy. From there, they went to Allen Central and again captured the 3rd place trophy. And to round the season off, there was the district and regional tournament. At the district, we played Lawrence County, beating them with the score of 67-83. This put us in the final game of the district, where we were put up against the Sheldon Clark Cardinals, where we were beaten 83-74. After the game, the trophies were given out, and we were awarded with the 2nd place runners-up trophy. Afterwards, the all-tournament district string trophies were announced. We were very honored to hear 3 of our players were chosen to this position. They were Scott Murray, Dave Couch, and Gary Priest. From there, we went to Prestonburg for the regional tournament. The first night, we played the Virgie Eagles and was beaten by the score of 92-81. 2 of our players were awarded the all-tournament team. They were Terry Branham and Dave Couch. One of the most memorable games of the year was the Paintsville and Central game. In this game, David Couch scored a school high of 50 points. The game went into overtime, which the Golden Eagles won. Next year, the Golden Eagles of Johnson Central plan to have a more exciting season. We are expected to be one of the better teams in the regional. To sum it all up, the Johnson Central Golden Eagle basketball team had a great 1977-78 season. We played 28 games, and we had the record of 15-13. Congratulations, Golden Eagles.
We are now talking with the Golden Eagle basketball coach, Mr. Wendell Wallen. What was the record this year, Mr. Wallen?
We ended the year up with a 15 win and 13 losses.
Who are your seniors?
We had 2 on the squad this year, Scotty Murray and Mark Preston. Scotty, one of these 3-letter players, football, baseball, and basketball, made a great contribution for us this year.
Who are the 5 starters?
We started on pretty well a regular basis. Scotty Murray in the middle, David Couch and Gary Priest at the forwards, and Terry Branham and Mark Murray at the guard. I alternated some with Mark Preston in the starting row at guard.
What kind of year did we have?
We had a pretty good year. We started a real good year in our December play and first part of January. Bad weather set in, which got us away from a regular routine, got us away from our student involvement, and we had some cancellations there, postponements, had to try to reschedule and play 3 or 4 times in a week. We set our goal for 15 wins and to be competitive by tournament time. We ended the regular season with 14 wins, and I think we were competitive by tournament time.
Will next year be as rewarding as this year has been?
If the players don't feel like that they are going to play on their laurels next year, it will be. We must get some of our players to work a little bit hard this summer, otherwise, and develop some. Otherwise, it won't be. We have the potential for a real good year. We've got 4 starters back. We've got 3 boys off the JV squad that we're expecting to play quite a bit of basketball next year, but I think a whole lot is going to depend on how well and how much they work to develop some individual talent that they have. Terry Branham is one of those. He's got to really get some development going. Clifton Blaine and Gary Priest are 2 others that must get a lot of development going.
Growing in popularity each year is our girls basketball program, headed up by coaches Harold and Connie Meek.
We are speaking with the girls basketball coach, Mrs. Connie Meek. Mrs. Meek, how many girls participated in girls basketball?
We carried a total of 24 on the team once we finally cut the team down. We had 74 at the beginning of the season that tried out for the basketball team.
Who mainly were your 5 starters?
We had 2 juniors, Gay Mullins and Vanessa Barker, and 3 sophomores that we started, Tammy Taylor, Cheryl Preston, and Leela Van Hoos.
What was the record?
We won 8 games and lost 9.
How many seniors did you have?
We didn't have any seniors on the team. We had a very young ball team this year.
What would you say was the toughest, or which one did you think they wanted to win the most?
Well, everybody always likes to beat Paintsville if you're from Johnson Central, but I think the team that we would really like to beat and we've never beaten is Sheldon Clark.
What do you think the future holds in store for the team?
Well, we have all of our starters back. Like I said, we didn't have any seniors, so we have everyone back. And we should be picked as one of the favorites in our district since we do have all of our starters returning for next year.
This is Miss Daniels from the Family Store, congratulating the class of 1978.
Jim Gamble at Town & Country Insurance and Town & Country Real Estate sends their best regards to the class of 78.
I would like to congratulate the 1978 graduating class of Johnson Central High School. And from all the people from Melvin's IGA, we say congratulations. Thank you.
We, the employees of Burger Queen, would like to congratulate the graduating class of Johnson Central.
Our Singing Eagles would like to do a selection for you entitled Yesterday Once More by Richard Carpenter.
When I was young, I'd listen to the radio, waiting for my favorite songs. When they played, I'd sing along. It made me smile. Those were such happy times, and not so long ago. How I wondered where they'd gone, but they're back again, just like a all the songs I love so well. Every sha-la-la-la, every whoa-whoa, shine. Every shing-a-ling-a-ling that they're starting to sing goodbye. When they get to the part where he's breaking her heart, it can really make me cry, just like before. It's yesterday once more. Shoo-be-doo-lang-lang. Looking back on how it was in years gone by, and the good times that I had, makes today seem rather sad. So much has changed. It was songs of love that I would sing to them, and I'd memorize each word. Those old melodies as they melt the years away. Every sha-la-la-la, every whoa-whoa, still shine. Every shing-a-ling-a-ling that they're starting to sing goodbye. All my best memories come back clearly to me. Some can even make me cry, just like before. It's yesterday once more. Every sha-la-la-la, every whoa-whoa, still shine. All the oldies but goodies. Every shing-a-ling-a-ling that they're starting to sing goodbye. Every sha-la-la-la, every whoa-whoa, still shine. All the oldies but goodies. Every shing-a-ling-a-ling that they're starting to sing goodbye. It's yesterday once more. Shoo-be-doo-lang-lang. Shoo-be-doo-lang-lang. Once more.
Let's give a listen to some popular music and activities of our 77-78 school year.
Our music department began its year with marching band camp, which is held at Eastern Kentucky University, August 7th through the 13th. The band, percussion, and auxiliary units receive professional instruction from music educators throughout the state. The band traveled to 4 marching band contests, bringing home a first-place trophy from Greenup County and a Field Commander's Trophy won by Beverly Huff and Charlotte Priest. The marching band show featured the corps-style marching, drills, and musical selections from Evergreen and Rocky. At the completion of a successful marching season with new uniforms, the 157 members of our department branched into concert band, jazz band, pet band, singing eagles, chorus, and the JCHS chorale to perform a variety of concerts, including Handel's Messiah. The JCHS Jazz Ensemble highlighted the concert season with several selections including Elton John's Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me and Carole King's Corazon.
The FHA is a club organized to promote better home and family living. Their motto is Toward New Horizons. Their color is red and white. Their flower is the red rose. The emblem they go by is a house supported by two hands. The project they have had this year is the Heart Fund. The project they are now working on is Healthy Babies, Chance or Choice. They attend an FHA camp in Hardinsburg, Kentucky, which lasts for 3 days in June. They also attend a state meeting held in Louisville and 2 regional meetings throughout the year. The officers are President Teresa Stapleton, First Vice President Janet Prater, Second Vice President Kathy Meek, Secretary Rose Sowards, and Treasurer Rhonda Stapleton. The Johnson Central FBLA attended the Region 5 conference at Eastern Kentucky University in Richmond, Kentucky. The competition for the conference was held April the 1st on Saturday. Johnson Central received an award for being the second largest chapter in Region 5. Tammy Bunyard received a third-place trophy for her shorthand, 1. Diane Piles received a third-place trophy for penmanship. Both will be attending the state competition in Louisville on April 21st and 22nd.
We are now speaking with the cross-country coach, Mr. Larry Sturgill. Mr. Sturgill, exactly what is cross-country?
Cross-country is a distance race. It's on a course of 2 or more miles, and the team consists of 7 participants on a race, and only 5 of those participants' score counts, like in golf. The lowest score is a winner. 2 of our participants are what we call displacers.
How many boys are participating in cross-country this year?
We have 12 kids running on our team. 7 are varsity, and 5 are on our junior varsity cross-country.
Do you have any seniors in cross-country?
We had 1 senior. This was Billy Hall, and we had 4 juniors, and the rest of them were sophomores.
Okay, what are the physical advantages of cross-country?
Well, cross-country has a carryover. If you've been out on the sidewalks and the parks and so on, you've seen these people jogging. This is for endurance and physical fitness. This is basically what cross-country has. It works for physical fitness of the total body plus endurance and distance, and has the carryover for jogging afterwards.
Van Hoos Lumber Company wishes the class of 78 a long and productive life in their future endeavors.
The Johnson County Gas Company wishes the best to the graduating class at Johnson Central High School.
From all employees at Clyde Shopping Center, we wish Johnson Central graduating class of 1978 the best of each and every one.
William D. Whitten Coal Company of Paintsville, Kentucky would like you to know that last year the Kentucky coal industry generated more than $500 million in wages alone. William D. Whitten Coal Company digs coal, and we also dig the class of 78.
One sure sign of spring is when 9 young men take to the field with glove, bat, and ball to participate in our nation's pastime. Our baseball coach is Mr. Paul Setzer.
We are talking with Paul Setzer, baseball coach of Johnson Central Golden Eagles. Coach, what are the prospects of the upcoming year?
At this point in time, we're not really sure what our prospects are going to be. We had 87 kids out for the team, but out of these 87, we only have 1 returning starter. This being an outstanding young man by the name of Scotty Murray. We have 8 letters from Major League Scouts at this time wanting to come in and see Scotty. We also have a 40-game schedule. We feel like one of our shortcomings is going to be pitching. But even though our team is going to be young, we feel like we'll have an adequate defense. We feel like we'll hit well enough, and we also think if we can execute, we can get in by tournament time with a 500 season, and we hope by tournament time that we can be representative of the school and do a good job at tournament time.
To the graduate, the most important part of the school year is the prom and graduation, this year being no exception. Our prom was a huge success, followed by a very colorful graduating ceremony.
Prom fell on May 27 of the 1978 school year, with the band United Sound performing. The projects that the junior class used to raise the money were they sold soap and bubble bath and sold magazines during the school year. The sponsors of the junior class were Mrs. Sue Williams and Mr. Robert O'Brien. The theme of the prom was This One's For You, and the colors were pink and blue.
The ending of any school year is both a happy and sad occasion. Johnson Central is no different. The reason for this sad and happy occasion is because of baccalaureate and graduation exercises. This is the school's way of honoring the seniors that have met both the local board and State Department of Education requirements for finishing high school. It is sad because these seniors will be leaving school for the last time as students and will probably never be together as a group again. It is a happy occasion because they will be leaving to start a life of their own. Baccalaureate service was held at Johnson Central High School on June 4, 1978 at 2 o'clock. A local minister delivered a short message of inspiration and guidance as parents, friends, and relatives looked on. After the baccalaureate services, the students scattered to have small group parties and small swimming parties. On Monday, June 5, 1978 at 7:30 in the Johnson Central High School gymnasium, the highlights of the school year took place. This was the traditional graduation ceremonies. These ceremonies started with the graduating seniors being led into the gymnasium by senior escorts. As they marched, they were in the precision order, filing past parents, friends, and relatives. A special section was provided on the floor for faculty that had worked so hard to help educate these seniors. They too were both sad and happy. As these seniors were seated, soft music was played by the band. The Singing Eagles followed with special selections. Speeches were given out by outstanding seniors, and all seniors who had achieved special awards were recognized. The highlight of the evening was the awarding of the diplomas by Superintendent Orville Hamilton as Principal Paul Setzer called names. As the seniors were crossing the stage, parents and friends were snapping pictures to have a remembrance of the sad and happy occasion. After the benediction, the seniors filed out for the last time, and on their faces was the look of a job well done.
Our marching band will now perform for you the very popular chart Rocky. I would like to take this time to thank my student committee who worked so hard to make this album possible. Margaret Pelfrey, Marquita Ward, Teresa Turner, Pam Fitch, Nancy Swanson, Tracy Tussey, Ruby Neal, Debbie Montgomery, Charlotte Priest, and Beverly Huff. In closing, I would like to wish the graduating class of 1978 a long and productive life filled with prosperity. A special thanks to the merchants who, without their generous support, we could not have produced this album. We urge you to support the merchants who advertised on our album cover.